is a very interesting After Lionsgate reading. We're just going to do a quick little update on the energy today as we shift into Lionsgate portal activation. We had the Lionsgate yesterday. There's actually a lot of really great energy, or a lot of abundant energy this month of August through Leo season. This is a really great time to be starting projects. So if you have felt hesitant in the recent past, or just hesitant in general to start on some of these projects, this is a really great time to get past some of this stagnant energy, anything that's been holding you in place or holding you back. This is us having all this potential, all of this energy, the Page of Wands, but we're not acting out of fear, or perhaps just holding back because we have these like binding limitations that we put on ourselves, we project on ourselves, which aren't necessarily true. We have a lot more potential. There's a lot of hidden potential, but it is hidden, for the gratification reasons. So, there's a lot of potential here. It's just lying dormant within you. So don't perceive yourself as less, or perceive yourself as this hermit creature, just because you're holding back on some of this energy. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything that you're not doing enough of or not doing right. It's just you need to push past this idea that things have not worked out in the past, so why try them now sort of energy, because that does come from a fear or lack. However, it's not a binding truth. It's not reality. It's just something that we project on ourselves from our ego, from our darker sides, which it's important to have that part of us, but we don't want it to be our full embodiment. We don't want it to control our decision making. We don't want it to make choices for us, and we don't want it to be what swallows us whole. So don't let that feeling of hesitation, because past experiences haven't worked out. That's not necessarily always, the truth. Some of it, we do learn a lot from failures or past experiences not working out the way that we wanted them to exactly. We have the Five of Cups here. It really goes along with the Page of Cups, or sorry, the Page of Wands. This is really being nostalgic in the past, and not wanting to move forward because of our outcomes have not been exactly what we wanted, or we didn't get the result that we wanted. So it's like this lack, this hesitation from wanting to manifest because things didn't work out exactly the way we wanted them or perceived them to work out. So I see this pretty often. Like, if you're ever manifesting something specific, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of variables you're not really thinking about when you're manifesting a specific person or a specific opportunity. Like, those things you can manifest, don't get me wrong, but if we're stuck on this specific criteria for our manifestations, we can get dumbfounded by some of the other variables that we're not thinking about, and we can get sidewinded by a lot of this stuff that we're not considering. So there's this saying, like, there's a lot that happens beyond the veil, there's a lot happening behind the curtain, and that is so true. So hold on to that truth, because just because you think something didn't really work out for you, or it didn't work out a specific way, there are reasons behind that. There are reasons why we shift. There are reasons why we get sidetracked into something else that isn't exactly what we're manifesting, because there's a lot of other things going on in the universe that are beyond our reach and our control, especially with other people involved. There's no way we can manipulate somebody specific, their energy, or just hold this control over another individual. So it's important to realize that there's like this energy of wanting to control, and that sort of thing can thwart your vision of what's going to actually happen with something. So we can manifest something and not get the results we desire because we had this superficial expectation for how something was going to work out. So with that being said, when we really come into this reality that we aren't our past experiences, we can grow into this Empress energy. We can make much better judgment and have this realistic approach, but still tap into our creative mindset, and our opportunities will flourish because we're allowing ourselves to make stern judgments, whether they be yes or no's, good or bads. If we're shifting left or right, we're making stern decisions, and that's what's really important through this process. So having these failures, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've done something wrong, or that, you know, there's not going to be an opportunity here in the future for you to succeed. We learn so much from our past experiences, from our failures, and so let that be some, you know, I know that you've heard that before, but let that be a truth for you to really swallow, because it's super important to fully understand, not just, you know, accept. When you fully understand that, you know, your failures or the outcomes that you didn't want have kind of thwarted your ego or your expectations for reality, and so you feel kind of stuck or stagnant, or you feel like, well, why even bother? Like, get past this energy, because there's this limiting barrier that we put on in ourselves when we do this, when we have this shift that, you know, we're in this victim mindset and things aren't working out, so why even bother? We get stuck. And so you want to get past this stuck feeling by understanding this truth of reality, is that we can make mistakes and we can still be human and we can still learn. And even if we were the person that was wrong in a situation, that doesn't mean we can't grow. That doesn't mean we can't make better choices in the future. It doesn't mean that we are a bad person. It just means that, you know, we're humans. We make choices, and sometimes we make choices that are super fast and come with unsound reasons. And now, you know, without the harm to any, it's important to understand that making these mistakes is a part of the human experience. So don't think that you're not enough of something because the dog trying to get in because there's this lack here, or you're not some great master manifester because this didn't happen for you the way you wanted it to. So when we get past this idea, we get past these limiting concepts of manifestation, and we can really grow into a flourishing, freeing aspect of our soul, so we can tune into what is currently in our reality is here for our best benefit and our best inner growth, whether they be good or bad experiences. Not so, you know, not so much here to really punish ourselves or make ourselves feel less by going through these experiences. It's just a part of the human experience. And when you really truly get past, like, wanting something specific results, and getting rid of that control part of your manifestations, then you can really shift into this unanxious, freeing, limitless soul body that can make better choices, tap into their creative mode and moods, and be able to kind of go with the flow and shift their reality with where reality is taking them, so they can experience more and not set these limitations on what they can do and where they can be and where they're going to flourish. Because we can be experts at something specific and then like learn something completely new like in the future or just tomorrow, and some of us pick up things really naturally, and some of us it takes a little bit more grinding and a little bit more effort, and that's okay too. But the thing is just having these limitations on your mindset isn't going to help you shift out of this funk. It's not going to shift you out of this stagnant period. So make sure that you're understanding that any failures, anything that didn't work out the way you wanted it to in the past, that doesn't necessarily mean that things aren't going to work out in the future, but that does mean that maybe you should shift. You should change what you're doing or how you're doing something, and maybe do a little bit more research on the topic, or how to produce or reach more people, have more exposure. Whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, just practice more, practice, practice, practice. That will help you shift that alignment into realizing that you're learning and growing. And when you're in this mindset of practice, then you can give yourself this freedom to make mistakes, because you know that you're learning. You're in this shift of learning. So going into that can also help you with that funk and that attitude. I'm going to end it here because the dog's trying to bark at whatever's walking by. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's reading. This is a kind of a little shift, a little reminder of yesterday's energy with the Lionsgate portal. We're activating much more opportunities. So get past whatever this funk feeling is so you can start accepting more new opportunities. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's reading. And even if you didn't, hit that like, subscribe button, because it helps me help you, help me help you, help me help me you.